Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yeonmi Park. I'm a nurse and de facto human rights activist. So today guys, I'm going to talk about Lee SOLJU and the strict rules that she needs to follow in North Korea. The reason that I chose to do this video is because after watching a documentary recently got released by the Netflix about Meghan Markle and her husband Prince Harry. I've been reading a lot of books about British monarchy and been fascinated by it because in North Korea, in a way that we also have a monarchy, we have a king, we have the queen, we have this bloodline continuously replacing each other generation after generation, and the British monarchy, that how dramatically what it stands for, what it protects in a country, in a nation. And I'm a huge fan of the British monarchy, and also it broke my heart to see what Meghan Markle was really talking about it. The oppression that she went through according to her truth, what she went through and the things that she's complaining about, entire documentary. And I just could not believe how ignorant she can be. And also, I just hope that this video that I'm making today is going to teach you that what actual oppression looks like, what actual injustice feels like to her. Because there are actual women that going through such a unjust that system, and especially in North Korea. So today's video is really focusing on North Korea's princess, North Korea's queen, Lee SOLJU, and the strict rules that she needs to endure for her survivor. And I hope that this makes a clear contrast to comparing what Meghan Markle is complaining about her experience with the British monarchy. So first rule that Lee SOLJU had to follow to become North Korea's queen was erasing her name. Imagine that when she became the wife of Kim Jong-un and became North Korea's princess, she had to change her name. It was forced because the regime wanted to nobody know about who she was, and nobody can find out who were her relatives or where she's coming from. That her identity didn't matter anymore. It was just all that mattered was now she is going to be using her as a piece of a puzzle that is used as Kim Jong-un's wife. And therefore, she could not even her own name when she became the wife of Kim Jong-un. Number 2 rule that Lee SOLJU had to follow to become North Korea's princess was deleting her past. And I think this is something that stuck with him a while, and what these women went through to survive is that when she was chosen to become the wife of Kim Jong-un, not by even her choice, the regime demanded that entire her friends, that anybody who knew her had to be, a lot of them sent to political prison camp. And not only that, anybody that remotely was interested in her or dated her ex-boyfriends were known to send to political prison camps. And more later, because Lee SOLJU was an entertainer, she began as a singer, and as you know that in my videos that I talk about North Korea's pleasure squad, she was in one of the entertainment sector, and therefore she was sent to China to learn singing, and she was sent to South Korea as a cheerleader. And later, when she became the wife of Kim Jong-un, and obviously there were ladies worked with her in the pleasure squad, and she was in the Eunhwa's orchestra, and in the 9 members in the orchestra had to get executed because they knew too much about Lee SOLJU. And the reason why they had to get executed was that while they were in this pleasure squad, the regime demanded all North Korean different sectors had to make a hard cash for the regime, and therefore they were forcing these girls to make adult films. Adult, I don't even want to say the word, you know what I mean. And because of that, these girls had to be executed to make sure that nobody can find out what Lee SOLJU did before she became the princess. Number 3 is hiding her pregnancy. And this is something really shocking, right? Like in some ways, maybe it was a good thing that they were protecting her, not letting her work, not letting her going to any public engagement. Not because of that. They wanted to protect the children of Kim Jong-un, not the mother. So make sure that she hides her pregnancy. She's in a strict confinement. She cannot work out. She cannot go for even walks by her own free will. She was strict, almost like a house arrest in a prison system. Nothing that was allowed for her to do without the order from the system. And she went through 3 pregnancies so far, and during this pregnancy we cannot find out anything what she did, and just she disappears for months and for no reason. And the reasons were because during this time they wanted to protect the child, so they enslaved the mother. Number 4, hiding her children. I'm a mother and I'm a very proud of mother, and I'm sure if you ever became a parent, you understand how proud you must be when you become a parent. But for Lee SOLJU, she can never do that because her children is from Kim Jong-un, and their job is replacing him someday, right? And therefore it's a strict secret until recently that daughter became revered. And the reason also why the regime revered the daughter was really trying to distract the Western media from the evil things that Kim Jong-un was doing by conducting missiles that can attack America. And until she became a political tool herself, the other sons are completely restricted from any public understanding. And what is also shocking about having a children of the dictator is that you never know when your children might get assassinated from another siblings, from another mother. As you know that Kim Jong-un has a lot of wives, a lot of mistresses. Even her father had 4 main wives, and they all had children with the dictator. And eventually Kim Jong-un became the leader, and he even killed his half brother. Like that, she always have to take the risk of her children also being assassinated by another family member. And that is something that you don't want to always think about as a mother. Number 5 is accepting adultery. I'm a strictly monogamous person. I cannot imagine sharing your own husband. But in North Korea, they took up the communist moral or socialist moral that polyamory is not allowed. It's strictly banned for the commoners. However, for Kim Jong-un, there's always exceptional rules. Therefore, Kim's allowed to have multiple wives and thousands of harems and concubines. And as Kim Jong-un's wife, she has no saying on when the husband commits adultery. She needs to accept every kind of shame and the hardship she needs to put through. So when Meghan Markle complains her problems, I'm like, lady, you really do not know what oppression looks like, what really women under the communist rules going through. Lastly is accepting arranged marriage. In 2009, when Lee SOLJU was only in her 20s, she was noticed by Kim Jong-un while she was performing for the dictator. And after that, apparently her father was in a high position in the party, that Kim Jong-il, the second Kim, arranged the marriage between Lee SOLJU and Kim Jong-un. So even marrying to Kim Jong-un was not by her choice. And I really often wonder if she lived in a free country like myself and like us, who she would choose as her husband. I believe she would never chose Kim Jong-un as her husband and going through that kind of shame. However, she had no choice because she was living in the dictatorship. I hope that today's video was helping you to understand the degree of oppression, the degree of the absurdity of this darkness that North Korean people endure, including Kim Jong-un's own wife. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please hit that like button and please join me on my Patreon. Your support can continue to make these videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Love you guys and see you next video. Bye!